Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today we'll be talking about all the books I read in February. I read 11 books in total, which I'm very proud about. I've been actually on track with my reading, so that's amazing. So I actually had an amazing reading month. I had just one book that was 3 stars, and then all the other ones were either 4 or 5. I do have a couple of 5s, so it was great. I also did 2 rereads, and so I will start with those ones. So the first book that I reread was Acre, So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Camera. As you can see, I do have quite a bit of tabs in there. I absolutely love this book, and I reread this in preparation for the sequel, which we'll talk about in a second as well. So if you don't know, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it also has cerebral palsy representation, as our main character has cerebral palsy, and I'm sure a lot of you know what this is about. But pretty much the story follows our main character Harper. She lives in Washington DC until one day she's whisked away to this fantastical world, and there she meets Prince Ren and finds out that he's actually cursed. So she's thrown into all these politics, and she's the one supposed to break the curse, and all of this weight just falls on her, and it's about her coming to terms with that. Like I said, I absolutely adored it. It was amazing. I love this book. So yes, if you haven't read this yet, do yourself a favor and pick it up. The next book that I reread will come at no surprise if you've watched any of my recent videos, and that is Cloaca Princess by Cassandra Clare. I've been rereading the series in preparation for Chain of Gold coming out. I've said this a million thousand times. I absolutely adored this book yet again. No matter how many times I'll read it, I'll always love it. It's got such a special place in my heart, and I'm so excited for Chain of Gold. I can't even tell you. So I'm pretty sure everyone knows what this is about, but for those of you who don't, this is the 3rd book in the Infernal Devices trilogy, and we follow our main character Tessa Gray, and she believes she's just a normal human living her normal life until she gets a letter from her brother that is in London, and he tells her to come and live with him. When she gets there, she actually gets kidnapped by these 2 warlocks, and she discovers that she herself has a power. She then ends up being rescued by Will Herondale, one of the young shadow hunters, and so this is the story of Tessa discovering that the world isn't actually what she thought it was. There's a lot more to it, and you know, coming to terms with who she is and what she is and her ability. And this book is absolutely amazing. It has, in my opinion, the best love triangle in the world. There's never gonna be a love triangle as good as this one. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I would honestly die for these characters. I love them so much. But yeah, so if you haven't picked up this trilogy yet, these are chronologically the first trilogy to start with if you're starting with Cassandra Clare, so highly recommend you do. And yes. So since we're in the Shadowhunter train right now, I also read Shadowhunters and Downworlders. I actually listened to this on audio. This one is like a collection of essays, I'd say, like from other authors commenting on the Mortal Instrument series, which again is one of my favorite series of all time. So it was very interesting to see other people's perspective and how they interpreted the books. Some of the opinions were definitely similar to mine. I did love to see the other authors' input on the series, so I give this one 4 stars. I couldn't give it a full 5 because again, it's not like a proper book. It was just people giving their opinions and stuff, so I didn't really know how to rate it, so I thought 4 stars was the appropriate rating. Now for the rest of the books, I will go in order from the one I enjoyed the least up to my absolutely favorite one of the month. So yeah, let's get on to it. So first up, we've got With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This one, I gave it 3 stars. I did really enjoy it. It was okay. I didn't like hate this book or anything. 3 stars is a good rating. It just wasn't amazing, and it wasn't, you know, one of my new favorite books or anything. This one follows our main character Imoni, I think that's how you say it, Imani, I don't know, Imoni. And Imoni is a teen mom, and she also, more than anything, wants to be a chef. She's very good at cooking, everyone tells her so. And so we follow her struggles as she tries to juggle being a mom and going to school and still pursue this dream of being a chef, when sometimes she has to choose between, you know, opportunities for herself or obviously putting her daughter first. Like I said, I did really enjoy it. It was really good. I just couldn't connect to the characters a lot, and the writing was a bit off at times. I also didn't find the romance anything interesting. I felt like it was there just to be there. So I didn't really care for it. Overall, it was a solid read, so I'm glad I read it. It was nice. And yeah. Next up, we've got Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. This one I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one. It was so cute, and I really enjoyed the characters. So in this one, we follow our main character Claudia, and she accidentally overhears the breakup between the it couple at their school, between these 2 girls, Paige and Iris. Now Paige is the one that's dumping Iris, and the breakup is not very nice. So when Claudia overhears it, they are not very happy about it. So the funny thing is, Claudia actually works with Iris on a class project, and they don't get a very good grade because obviously they don't get along, and so they end up having to work in the school play to make up for their bad project. The story really goes from there. Claudia and Iris start to develop a friendship, which is very cute. They're like very different people, and they've never got along before, and now they're starting to build a friendship and they're starting to trust each other, and it was so cute to see. I really loved the friendship aspect in this book. And then also, while they're doing the school play, Claudia might end up finding love as well, which was also very cute. I really liked the romance. I thought it was very well played out, and I didn't feel like it was one of those romances that was there just to move the story along. The 2 characters really had a chemistry, and they were the cutest thing, and yes. So I really recommend you read this one, and I can't wait to read more stuff by Emma Mills. Next we have Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, and this one I gave 4 stars as well. I really enjoyed this one. This one was so fun. The characters themselves were so funny and witty, and I really adored both of the main characters, and the family dynamics in this one was really well done. So this one we follow Pepper and Jack, and they run the Twitter accounts for their parents' businesses, and so they are constantly at war with each other online, and they don't know who each other is in real life. So it is very funny that they actually start developing a relationship in real life, and they actually fall for each other without knowing that they're the ones running the Twitter. And so a lot of drama happens, and it's very good. I loved this book. It was so good. The only reason I didn't give it the full 5 stars is because there was nothing, you know, very impactful or really like life-changing that I felt it was a 5-star. For me, 5-star books is the kind of books that, you know, really impact me in some way, and that I'm left like, whoa. You know, like, so this one, you know, didn't do that for me, but it was still an amazing story, and if you haven't picked it up, then I highly recommend you do. It was amazing. Next we have Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This one is the 2nd book in the Grisha trilogy. I've been reading these books with the Time Turners book club. I will leave the link down below, and I will leave Anna's channel in the corner. She's the one that created this book club, so I will leave her channel up there for you to check her out. So I definitely enjoyed this one more than the first one. I feel like I finally started to understand the characters more, and their reasons and motives, and why they do certain things. I also started to care a bit more for the romance. I didn't really care for it in the first book, but now I'm a lot more invested, and I'm actually rooting for a certain couple to like end up together. Obviously I don't know if it's gonna end that way, but I'm hoping it does. So yes, if you don't know what this one is about, which I'm pretty sure you do, but we follow Alina Starkov as she discovers she's a sun summoner. So she pretty much is the most powerful Grisha that there is, kind of. Her power can pretty much defeat the biggest Grisha, the evil Grisha, if you will. So her power can defeat him and destroy the Shadowfold, which is this like place with monsters and stuff, and everyone that goes in end up dead. So a lot of responsibility falls on her shoulders, and she needs to learn how to deal with all of this and try to learn all about the politics of the world and how she can do the right thing. And it's also about Alina trying to find out who she really is and what she really wants in life, and coming to terms that she's not the girl that she was before. Like I said, I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. I can't wait to continue with this series and the other books in the Grisha world. Next we have Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I really enjoyed this one as well. I gave it 4 stars. I really loved this book and the characters were absolutely amazing. I loved the connections between the characters and our main character as well. I could really connect to her on some level. So if you don't know, this one follows our main character Zeli, and Zeli watched her mum being taken and killed because she had magic. The king wanted to banish magic and anyone with magic, so he killed a bunch of people that had magic and then found a way to literally eliminate magic from the world. So Zeli is supposed to have magic as well, and everyone that is supposed to have magic has white hair as a symbol from the gods or something, because the magic comes from the gods. So everyone that was supposed to have magic has white hair, and so they're very badly treated. No one actually takes them serious or anything. So in this one, Zeli actually discovers a way in which she can bring back magic to everyone, and so she embarks on a journey to do just that, and she needs to succeed no matter what. There are a lot of consequences that this could bring, but she needs to do this to save her people and the world. So yes, there's a lot of angst, there's betrayal, there's war, there's everything that you could possibly want in a book. It's here. So like I said, I really enjoyed it. Again, not a 5 stars because it didn't have that impactful meaning to me, but it was a very high 4 stars and I highly recommend it. So we are down to our top 3 and these were all 5 stars. So the first 5-star read that we have is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This one, oh my god. Oh my god. I've been putting this book off for so long. I knew I was gonna love it. I just had to get it done and I'm so glad I did. I literally sobbed like a baby. I haven't cried in a book in a very long time. I can't even explain in words how much I love this book and how important this book is. I wish everyone read it. If you haven't, do. It's so beautiful. It's I don't have any words. So the most interesting thing about this book is definitely the fact that it's narrated by Death. If that doesn't sound interesting to you, I don't know what will. We follow our main character Lizel. We start this book with Lizel traveling with her brother and her mother to go to her foster parents. On the travel there, her brother actually dies. Like I said, Death narrates the story and it literally says that was the first time that he met Lizel, but it wasn't to take her, it was to take her brother. Yeah, some lines in this book are just beautifully written and it's so interesting. This is the time in Germany where all the Nazi stuff happened and they were killing Jews and stuff like that. So again, this is very hard hitting. It's a very important topic. So even that just makes this book absolutely amazing. So my camera stopped recording. I don't know what I was saying. But pretty much, so Lizel is known as a book thief, and that all starts when she goes to her brother's funeral, and in the middle of the snow she finds this book and she just grabs it and takes it with her, and that's technically her first book that she steals, even though it's not really stealing because it was just lying in the snow, but okay. So, and then from there she goes on to her foster parents, and her foster dad actually teaches her how to read and she starts getting really good, and soon she's stealing books from fires that the Germans make to burn all the books that could possibly have Jews in them or written by Jews or anything like that. So they're burning a lot of things, a lot of books, and Lizel steals some from the fires, or at one point she actually steals from someone's house. So yes, that's when she's actually a book thief. The first one wasn't really like stealing, but the other ones definitely were a little bit. So like I said, this was very hard hitting. The ending was definitely devastating. Like I said, I sobbed. So keep that in mind. I again really recommend you read this one if you haven't already. This has been around for years. I'm pretty sure most people have read it, but if you haven't, you know what to do. The next one I have is The Hate You Give by N.J. Thomas. This one is also a very hard-hitting novel. It deals with very real and raw and hard topics, such as police brutality and racism and all the things that come with that. In this one we follow our main character Star, and she witnesses her best friend being shot and killed by a police officer while unharmed, and this is not the first time that she's witnessed a friend being killed, so it's very devastating for Star. And because she's the only witness that was at the scene, she needs to figure out if she wants to speak up about what happened and at the same time put her life at risk, or if she should instead stay quiet, not say anything. And if she does that, this will just be another case of police brutality that goes unheard of and just brushed under the mat. So yeah, we follow Star as she comes to terms with what happened, and as she deals with that, because she decides to speak up, she starts getting death threats from the most powerful like gang lords of her neighborhood, because her friend that was shot was actually kind of working for him. So if she says anything, it will then lead police to this gang leader, whatever. So he then starts threatening her life and her family, and yes, there's a lot of things that go into this. And again, it's a very hard choice whether she wants to speak up and put her life in danger and her family as well. So like I said, this was very hard hitting. It was definitely a very important read. Everyone should read this story. There's a film now as well, so maybe watch the film. I watched it, it was really amazing. This was such an amazing and important story. So if you have not read this, do yourself a favor and pick it up. And so last but not least, we've got A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Camera. This one again is very heavily tabbed. I absolutely adored this book. This was my favorite book of the month. It's definitely probably gonna be one of my favorite books of the year. Absolutely adored it. I've said that about 2 or 3 times now, but yes. So this one is a sequel to A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which I talked about in the beginning. So I can't really give you a synopsis because obviously this is the second one, but I can tell you that it picks up right where we left off at the end of A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and we are introduced to new characters and we get to explore the world a lot more. We got different perspectives from different areas of this kingdom, so it was very interesting to see that, because the first book mainly happens in the one place, which is the castle, and so we don't really get to see much of the world, and this one just expands it to a whole other level. And I also absolutely adored the new characters that we were introduced, and the other ones that we already knew was just so much developed, and I adored this book. It was absolutely amazing. You should read it. Okay, you should read it. You should really, really read it. So yeah, I feel like I've been talking for ages now. I probably have because I ramble a lot. Editing me will not like me very much. So that's all the books I read in February. Like I said, I had an amazing reading month. I read some amazing books. Let me know how your reading month was, if you had a really good one like I did, or if not, let me know anyways. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I would love to know. And as always, I will leave my Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, everything down below, so you can chat to me on there as well. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye!